Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Women's tennis rivalries intensify. Gauff challenges Swiatek. Sabalenka faces Anisimova's resurgence. Avantimes.com. The landscape of women's professional tennis is increasingly shaped by compelling head-to-head rivalries, with top contenders Iga Swiatek and Sabalenka navigating formidable challenges from Coco Gauff and Amanda Anisimova, respectively. These matchups, which often transcend rankings and recent form, add a captivating layer to the sport, as Avantimes observed during the recent Australian Open, where the draw strategically separated these key adversaries until a potential final. Gauff's breakthrough against Swiatek. Despite Iga Swiatek holding a career 11-5 lead over Coco Gauff, the American teenager has demonstrated a significant shift in their dynamic, securing victories in their last 4 encounters, all in straight sets. This recent dominance includes a notable win at the United Cup earlier this year, signaling a mental breakthrough for Gauff against the dominant pole. Gauff further elaborated on the unique mental hurdle Swiatek presented. "There was no other head-to-head in tennis where I had that, so it was very difficult to navigate," she explained. "Now I feel like I'm able to play free." Swiatek's perspective on head-to-head records. Conversely, Swiatek maintains that head-to-head statistics do not weigh on her mind, whether she is winning or losing. The 4-time Grand Slam champion attributes her consistent performance to this mindset. Swiatek emphasized her approach to treating each match as a distinct event, independent of past results. "I guess I just really want to treat every match as a separate story. Every match also is in different conditions. So there's no point to, always come back to it," she added, suggesting that the significance of such records might differ for her opponents. Sabalenka's battle against Anisimova. Another compelling rivalry features Sabalenka and Amanda Anisimova, with Anisimova currently leading their head-to-head 6-5. Anisimova initially dominated their early meetings, winning her first 4 matches against Sabalenka in straight sets, often matching the Belarusian's powerful baseline game. However, Sabalenka has recently turned the tide, securing 5 of their last 7 encounters, including a pivotal victory in the US Open final last September. This shift underscores the dynamic nature of these high-stakes matchups. Historical precedent for shifting dynamics. The history of tennis is replete with examples of head-to-head records undergoing dramatic reversals, illustrating that early dominance does not guarantee sustained superiority. Roger Federer, for instance, overcame initial deficits against Leighton Hewitt and Tim Henman to forge winning records against both. Perhaps most famously, Chris Evert once held a commanding 22-4 lead over Martina Navratilova, only for Navratilova to ultimately finish their rivalry with a 43-37 advantage. The legendary Vitas Gerulaitis also famously quipped, "No one beats Vitas Gerulaitis 17 times in a row," after finally defeating Jimmy Connors following a long losing streak. These historical patterns highlight that while head-to-head statistics can create mental hurdles or provide confidence, the evolving nature of players' games and mental fortitude means that no rivalry remains static. The ongoing battles between Swiatek, Gauff, Sabalenka, and Anisimova continue to captivate fans, promising more thrilling chapters in women's tennis. Women's tennis rivalries intensify. Gauff challenges Swiatek. Sabalenka faces Anisimova's resurgence. The landscape of women's professional tennis is shifting with dramatic intensity. What was once a field defined by singular dominance has evolved into a vibrant ecosystem of elite competition, emerging stars, and compelling rivalries. At the heart of this transformation are 4 figures whose paths increasingly intersect on the biggest stages: Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, Sabalenka, and Amanda Anisimova. Each brings a distinct style, story, and set of ambitions, and their growing rivalries are reshaping the narrative of the women's game entering 2026. The new era, competitive balance at the top. Unlike many recent eras in tennis history dominated by 1 or 2 players, the current WTA Tour boasts multiple Grand Slam champions and genuine contenders. In 2025 alone, 4 different women captured majors, underscoring both depth and unpredictability at the top of the sport. This competitive parity has breathed life into rivalries that once seemed unbalanced, creating storylines rich with tension, comeback arcs, and the promise of historic clashes. Gauff vs. Swiatek, youthful fire meets master's craft. At first glance, the rivalry between Gauff and Swiatek might seem like a typical generational bout, the up-and-coming American challenging the established Polish star. But as their head-to-head contests broadened across surfaces and stages, the narrative has shifted from youthful potential to genuine rivalry. Swiatek's legacy speaks for itself: multiple Grand Slam titles, a clay court dominance that very few have matched, and a baseline game rich in spin, tactical acuity, and mental fortitude. But records also tell a story of change. Historically, Swiatek led their rivalry, though Gauff has won several of their most recent matches, including high-stakes meetings in early 2026 such as at the United Cup, where Gauff's straight-set victory reflected her growing ability to dictate play against the pole. Gauff's rise to the elite has not been linear. It has been emphatic. With a Grand Slam title at Roland Garros in 2025 and victories over some of the sport's best, she has proven that her blend of athleticism, aggression, and strategic maturity can overcome even the most seasoned champions. In defeating Sabalenka and outmaneuvering Swiatek in their recent matchups, Gauff showed she is no longer just a threat. She is a defining force. Where Swiatek thrives in constructing long, spin-heavy rallies and imposing her court intelligence, Gauff poses a contrasting challenge, a style rooted in flat hitting, fierce pacing, and an uncanny ability to transition from defense to offense in a heartbeat. This contrast not only makes for great tennis, it sets the stage for one of the defining rivalries of the next decade. As both enter 2026, every clash between these two feels less like an undercard bout and more like a statement match, an opportunity to claim psychological edge and tilt momentum for future titles. Sabalenka versus Anisimova, power meets resurgence. Less talked about historically than Swiatek-Gauff, the rivalry between Sabalenka and Anisimova has evolved into a captivating narrative of power, momentum swings, and personal redemption. Sabalenka has been one of the most consistent performers on tour. Her game is built on overwhelming power, big serves, deep ground strokes, and a presence that can bully opponents off the court. In 2025, she sustained a long run of success that included capturing multiple titles and a strong presence in major events. If Sabalenka represents sheer dominance, Anisimova represents resilience. After stepping away from the sport for mental health reasons, the American's return has been nothing short of remarkable. Her journey carries a narrative richness rarely seen at the sport's peak. An underdog reborn, reclaiming confidence, rediscovering,